All right, a unique scoring system. Not only the traditional 6 points on a touchdown and 3 points with a field goal. You have a point on offense for crossing the 50-yard line, and every first down a point as well. As we begin our second quarter, could be a free play here after some early movement on the right side of the defensive line. Aldarius Johnson unable to come down with it. Another look at our scoring system for this afternoon, and right now a 22-11 score. We did see a fumble on the very first play from scrimmage as Spencer Whipple was brought down by Adewale Ajomo. Touchdowns in the first quarter: Leonard Hankerson, Devon Johnson, and Travis Benjamin as well. As you see the infraction against the defense with the early start. Jason Salak and Casey Jones here on CSS. And Travis Benjamin already showed off his extraordinary speed. Allison brought up the point of academics and how well the University of Miami has performed under head coach Randy Shannon the last 3+ years. Ja'Cory Harris, of course, one of those guys that knows that Randy Shannon is all business both on and off the field. Casey, what kind of sense do you have the program at this point and the discipline that Randy has brought to it?
Well, you see it reflected in the wins he earns every year, up to 9 wins this year. But what people are missing out on is basically the discipline that he's instilling in this program. When he goes out to recruit a guy, he looks for what he calls, quote unquote, a Miami guy. A guy who's dedicated to go to class, graduate, come to practice, give everything he has to the program, and then will be at some point rewarded with graduating with a degree or playing in the NFL. He's looking for these Miami guys that have this discipline, that want to contribute, that aren't going to use this program just as a stepping stone to the NFL.
Morris, the quarterback, has a man, and an acrobatic catch is made by Kendall Tompkins, who had a drop in that first quarter. Tompkins brings it in, the 5'10" sophomore out of Miami's Northwestern High School. And we mentioned at the end of that first quarter the fact that off the field, Randy Shannon has tried to limit the conversation with the media to what has been evolving, and that is the possible talks of a contract extension, and both sides of it obviously debated by the fans and the media. But Randy Shannon, you really consider what he's done, as we've spoken about in recruiting. It was really his first class that he had the time committed to devote to assemble, that's coming back as juniors. That crop of talented guys out of Northwestern High School: Ja'Cory Harris, Aldarius Johnson, Marcus Fortson, Sean Spence. These guys are true juniors, meaning they haven't had a redshirt year. And really, as Shannon has evolved as head coach, so too has that talented class of former recruits. And I think as you look at that timeline and you see those guys develop, that's the maturity process we look at as they become juniors and possibly seniors. Where is the state of Randy Shannon and this football program?
And that's why I think it's hard to evaluate just where this program is right now. Yes, there's marked improvement in the quality of play on the field, reflected in wins. They're getting better guys, quality guys, into the program. I think what this year is going to be the pivotal year of how Randy Shannon has done. He's got guys in place that have been through the program, been through the system. He's developed leadership and character in this program. And there's also something that you haven't seen in quite some time. There's guys that are competing for the sake of competing. These guys want to get better on a day-to-day basis. They're excited to go to practice. It used to be, it's a very boot camp-like atmosphere, almost like a military atmosphere when Randy Shannon got in. But now these guys are adjusted to it. They're having more fun. They're out there competing with each other. And I think these guys are there. They're right on the cusp of something great. I really do believe that. And I'm a believer now after spending the whole day with Randy Shannon and Mark Whipple at practice, starting at 6:30 in the morning with team meetings and watching film with the coaches and seeing how they conduct the practices and the meetings. They are not just getting guys on this team. They're developing young men that are going to go out and not only create a better program for the University of Miami, but they're going to go out and be successful as well.
Travis Benjamin has been competitive here in the first half, and despite the penalty there on Corey Nelms, is able to bring the football inside the 5-yard line as another drive being put together by a true freshman quarterback Stephen Morris as Coach Shannon looks on. So we'll see if the Miami offense here can punch it back into the end zone. They have 2 men in the backfield in the staggered eye. And Morris hands off, running to the right. Miller across the 5, and he is apparently across the goal line. The call comes in, and a touchdown for the University of Miami's Lamar Miller. As they say down in Coral Gables, it is Miller time for the redshirt freshman out of Killian High School.
That was a great drive put together, and I tell you what, it all starts up front. And what you see right now is that patchwork second-team offensive line doing a great job. You know, Jeff Stoutland's done a great job this spring with 2 very good offensive linemen. His 2 leaders, his 2 bell cows in the offensive line room, out with Joel Figueroa out with a shoulder injury, and Orlando Franklin out with a back injury. These guys are young, but they're also very competitive, and they want to contribute right away, and they're getting the reps to develop their talent.
Well, wouldn't you know, as Spencer Whipple heaves it towards the end zone, Richard Gordon comes down just shy of the goal line on the botched point after attempt. And Lamar Miller, who has been one of those standout players throughout the last 4 weeks of spring practices, shows off his skills with a touchdown. Last 2 touchdown drives engineered by freshman Stephen Morris, including Lamar Miller breaking it to the outside and across the goal line.